Classes are for to give you an opportunity to be able to raise questions and understand as best we all can the meaning behind everything. All right, so we begin with the altruistic motivation. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. Dagla dang war je pe dra no par je pe ge. Tar pa dang tam she ken pe bar du jo par je pa tam she ki so je pe. Ma nam ka dam yam pe sem chen tam she de wa dang den. Dug now dang drel nor du la na me pa yang dag par zog pe zhang ju brin po she to pa ja. Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Deshe du sang ma ge gi bar du lu na gi sam ge wa la ko. Ma she bar du lu na gi sam ge wa la ko. Du de ring ne song te ni ma sang ta sam gi bar du lu na gi sam ge wa la ko. We take refuge in the kind root Lama and lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deities of the mandalas of the Yidams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. We take refuge in the kind root Lama and lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deities of the mandalas of the Yidams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Transcend Sawa Dangur Parje Pe Pal Den Lama Dampa Nam La Kab Suchi O Yedam Kilgor Gila Sok Nam La Kab Suchi O Sangye Chom Den De Nam La Kab Suchi O Dam Pe Cho Nam La Kab Suchi O Papege du nam la kab su chi o. Pawo kadro cho kyong song me song yeshe gi chang dang demba nam la kab su chi o. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma, and likewise in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embraced the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embraced the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path. Shangju Mingpo Chi Ki Bar Sangye Namla Kapsu Chi Chodang Shangshu Sampai So Klang Deshin Kapsu Chi Jitar Nongi Deshegi Shangshu Tugni Ke Padan Shangshu Samke La Pala They Dagrim Shen Ne Patar They Shin Drola Pandandu Shangshu Samni Ke Gishin They Shin Du Ni La Pala Rempa Shindu La Pajio. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. Sangye Chodang Soki Chodamla Changshu Badu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Jinso Ki Pe Sonamgi Drola Penshir Sangye Juparsho. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness in the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Manam kadam yampe sem chen tam she dewa dang dewe gurdang dempa jurchi. Dug now dang de now gi gu dang dra war jurchi. Dug now me pe dewa dang mi dra war jurchi. Nay ring chak dang ni dang dra wei tang namla ne pa jurchi. The 7-limb prayer in English. I bow down respectfully with my body, speech, and faithful mind to all Tathagatas in the 10 directions, those who have already reached the Tathagata state, those who are reaching it at present, and those Tathagatas still to come. Through the power of Samantabhadra's prayers, may all the Buddhas manifest vividly in my mind. I prostrate to them, multiplying my body as many times as there are atoms of the earth. In each atom, I visualize as many Buddhas as there are atoms, surrounded by countless bodhisattvas. Thus, all space is filled with Buddhas and bodhisattvas. I praise all Buddhas through magnificent chanting, expressing the great ocean of their excellent qualities. To all Buddhas, I make offerings of various pure flowers, of flower garlands, of music, anointing oils, magnificent light, and fragrant incense. I make offerings of fine garments, perfume, and potpourri, piled high as Mount Meru and arranged in the most beautiful way. I visualize the highest and most extensive offerings and offer them with great faith to all Buddhas. I prostrate to the Buddhas and make offerings to them, following the deeds of the great Bodhisattvas Samantabhadra. I confess to you, Buddhas, whatever negative actions I have committed due to the power of anger, desire, and ignorance. I rejoice in the merit of all the Buddhas in the 10 directions, of the great Bodhisattvas and Pratyeka Buddhas, those who have attained arhatship, those who have entered the path to arhatship, and all other beings. I request to all great protectors and Buddhas to turn the highest wheel of Dharma as a light dispelling the darkness of beings in the 10 directions and leading them gradually to the enlightened state. I supplicate those Buddhas intending to pass into parinirvana to live long for as many eons as there are atoms of the earth in order to benefit all beings. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. Short mandala offering. The ground is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Meru, the supreme mountain, the 4 continents, and the sun and the moon. As a Buddha field, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha fields. To the lamas who possess the 3 kayas, I offer the outer, inner, and secret offerings with my body, wealth, and all that is visible. Please grant me the supreme realization, enlightenment. Whatever merit I've gathered through prostration, offering, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. Om Guru Ratna Mandala Puja Mega Samudra Saparana Samaye Ahom. In Tibet, Sashi Bojo Jongme Totran Rirab Linshin Yide Kampadi Sangye Shin La Mikte Povayi Jokun Nam Dag Shindu Kewa Sho Kusam Yong Sog La Me Sog Nam La Chi Nang Sang Sun De Shin Yiki Cho Daglu Long Cho Naxi Yong She La Me Chogi No Drup Sadu So Chaksa Wadang Cho Ching Sapadang Jesu Yi Rang Kol Sing So Wa Yi Dewa Jung Se Dagi Ji Sak Pa Pam She Sok Pe Shang Zhu Chino Om Guru Ratna Mandala Puja Mega Samudra Saparana Samaye Ahom. Supplication to Lord Jigdan Sumgön. Unequaled refuge, ornament of the world, your fame pervades the 3,000 worlds. You are the victor Vajradhar without a doubt. I bow at the feet of the Father Jigdan Sumgön. Continually I think of no one but you. Compassionate one, grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize the unelaborated nature of mine. Jabdrengi Dome Zamlingen Dragpe Tong Song Yong La Kya So Me Gawa Durje Chan Park Jigten Gompe Shala Du Tak Tu Sam Kyu Kyo Le Me Jinji Lob Shik To Je Chan Yingi Monpa Sel Ne Kyang Sam Joja Du Topa Jinji Lo. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the two vehicles and their combination according to the disposition and likewise the mental capacities of sentient beings. Samchen Namgi Sampadam Lo Yi Je Dak Ji Tawa Chi Chung Tog Mong Te Pa Yi Choki Korlo Kordu So. Okay, thank you. So now we'll go to page 61. Or rather, we're on page 53, excuse me. Right, did I see that? Right, okay, my mistake when I said 61. It's correct in the book, I read it wrong. So this is the short meditation on WhiteTara called The Stream of Nectar. So here we see a very nice picture of WhiteTara. So last week I introduced that Tara is the mother of all the Buddhas, and she represents the wisdom aspect of all the Buddhas. And so it's the wisdom that is the mother of our Buddha nature. It's the loving kindness, and it manifests as the compassion. So green Tara, if you recall, green Tara had a green body and she had a youthful figure, and she had flowers, lotus flowers in both her hands. And one of her attributes was that her right leg was extended and her left leg was drawn in. So her right leg was on a lotus cushion, symbolizing that she's always ready to jump up from where she's seated to be able to come to the assistance, to come to the help of all sentient beings. So with WhiteTara, she is more matronly. She is older and she's a little bit more modest in her dress and her clothing and so on. And she has a white body, and both her legs are in the Vajrasana, which is the Vajra position, with both legs and both soles of both feet are pointed upward. So you can see that in the picture here. You can't see in this picture, but she's seated on a lotus pedestal and on a moon disk, a white moon disk. And the sun disk, of course, is there. It's underneath the moon disk. The two always go together. So she's sitting on the white disk, which is indicative of all the peaceful deities. So she has a tiara that she's wearing, and the tiara has the stones, has the jewels of the 5 Buddha families, but in particular, here there's a green stone symbolizing the union that she has with Amagog city, the Buddha Amagog city. And together they bring the wisdom, the all-accomplishing wisdom. So in her right hand, you don't see it in this picture, in her right hand, it's holding the stem of a lotus flower, and that's at her right knee, the same as green Tara, and her hand is up in the generosity, in the offering position, so she's offering the purity of this lotus flower, and her left hand is holding the stem of a lotus flower, and her hand is in the protection mudra, same as green Tara, and the lotus flower is at her left ear. So the wisdom of the purity is coming in, and the compassion of the purity is going out. The left comes in, the right goes out. So the most important part, or the most identifiable part of WhiteTara, aside from her white body, are the 7 eyes. She has 7 eyes. So she's got her 2 eyes, her 2 normal eyes that she sees with, but she also has a 3rd eye at the forehead, where this is the wisdom eye. And then she also has in her 2 hands, you see that there is an eye in the palm of each of her 2 hands. And also there is an eye on the soles of each of her 2 feet that are facing upward. So these are the 7 eyes. So with these eyes, she sees all suffering. She sees all beings. She sees all wisdom. And she knows how to implement the wisdom through compassion through her hands. And she knows where to go with the eyes on her feet. She knows how to transport herself, where she needs to be in order to be able to help all beings. So these are the 7 eyes of WhiteTara. So on a painting like this, it's easy to see WhiteTara because she has a white body. But on a statue that may be made of all brass or bronze or combination metals and so on like that, the color of the body is going to be the golden color that is all the metal statues are made of. But you can see the eyes, so you would look for the eyes. And with green tar, you would look for her right leg being extended. And then you would see that she doesn't have the 7 eyes. So she's wearing all the silk garments and so on, and all the things of a great like a goddess would be. She's not regarded as a goddess; she is a Buddha, and she is wearing stockings that are have the colors of the 5 Buddha families. So she represents. She's the mother of all the Buddhas. So green Tara also, and many of the other Taras, have these multicolored stockings that they wear to indicate that they are part of all the Buddha families. Okay. So now we go to page 54. And here in this instruction, at the beginning, it says, not rising in the east, not possessing the image of animals, but with the smile of rays of light that causes the night blooming lily of wisdom in my mind to open, I prostrate to Tara. Whoever wishes to manifest the activities of WhiteTara should, in a suitable place, make an altar upon which is an image of Tara and perform the offerings. The practitioner, sitting properly in a comfortable place, recites the following, the refuge prayers. So it would be good if you had some kind of an altar, and if you had offering bowls would be wonderful. They can be filled all with water, or they can have the 8 offerings in them, would be wonderful. If you have a candle that is lit, you have incense that is burning. If you have an image of Tara, either through a picture, some kind of a photograph of a picture of a tanka, or maybe a tanka painting itself, or a statue, something like that, a likeness of Tara, to help you maintain your mindfulness. What these rituals do is bringing us mindfulness in a very pure way, so that through focusing on this, we become the embodiment of these deities. So in the empowerments that the lamas give, they go through much greater detail in talking about the outer meanings, which I'm talking about, but then they talk about the inner meanings, and they talk about what might be some secret meanings that maybe they share with you, and you may have questions that you may bring up to them, something like that. But so to be able to bring your mindfulness together, focused on the deity, in this case, WhiteTara, is the reason for all this. So we visualize the physicality of this. We bring the physicality into our brain. We're thinking about the meaning of this. And then through our recitation, using our voice, using our speech, we're uttering the words of the particular Buddha. And then this vibration is resonating within us and opening up doors that we don't recognize that we even have, but opening up us to these very ancient spiritual vibrations that connect us with all other beings that are doing the same thing all around the world. And and then we begin to have the wisdom, we begin to become aware of the wisdom, and it seems to be rising up to our intellect. The wisdom has always been there. What we're doing, because of our mindfulness, we're now recognizing that wisdom coming up. So when we are focusing the body, we're using the body's speech, we're focusing the intellect on the meaning. So now we're creating this mindfulness, and then the spirituality, the spiritual body comes up. So it's like the Dharmakaya is the emanation body, the Sambhogakaya is the enjoyment body, and the Dharmakaya is the truth body. So this is what we're trying to awaken, is our awareness of these three kayas, these three bodies of the Buddha. Okay, so any comments or questions? Everybody okay? WhiteTara is a long life deity. Green Tara is a deity of protection and liberation from suffering, as all the deities are, but in particular, she works on fearlessness, Green Tara. WhiteTara works on fearlessness as well, but in the sense of long life, to be able to bring long life, that we may have long life in order to fulfill all our Dharma deeds, all our Dharma wishes, all our aspirations, all our practices, that we have long life. There's three long life deities. So WhiteTara is one. Another is Amitayus. Amitayus is an emanation of Buddha Amitabha. And Amitayus is the immortal one. That we see that there is this immortality nature of the Buddha nature, of this true nature, this indestructible Buddha nature that is not born, it does not die, it is ever present. It is like it's immortal. In English words, we could say that, and represents the wisdom of the long life. Tara represents the voice, the speech of that long life. And then the third one is Usnisha Vijaya is her name. Namgyalma is her name in Tibetan. Namgyalma in Sanskrit is Usnisha Vijaya. And she's got 6 arms, and she's got a golden body. And she represents the activity, the enlightened activity of long life. And what she has in her hands, these implements and so on, enable her to be able to bring long life, to help beings to recognize that they can have this long life, this immortal long life that is typified by Amitayus, that is practiced by WhiteTara, and that is actualized by Namgyalma. So there's another practice that is the Namgyalma practice. There's another practice that is the Amiteyas practice. So this is the first of the long life deities, WhiteTara. So in a few weeks, we'll be doing the Amiteyas. It's in the book here.
Oh, Lance, I had a question.
Sure.
On the portion where it says, when we set up an altar with a WhiteTara, should that be along with Shakyamuni?
With what?
Would it be with Shakyamuni Buddha, or would it be a separate altar altogether?
Oh no, it would be a single altar. I mean, you could have many altars if you wanted. You could have a specific altar for Tara if you wanted to do that. But no, it would be, one altar, and you could have an image of the Buddha Shakyamuni. You could have an image of Tara. You could have other images of other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas there. So yeah, so one offering bowl and so on like that.
For all of them.
For all of them.
I see. Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
And Dharma Surya, I mean, you've seen what we have. In the center we've got the main altar, which is Buddha's Shakyamuni, but then on his right side is the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, and on his left side is WhiteTara.
WhiteTara.
Yeah, so we in Dharma Surya we've got those three altars.
Nice.
But we consider that all one altar.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'll just mention that WhiteTara is the Yidam of Dorje Rinpoche. So this is very special to him, and his teachings on WhiteTara, his practices on WhiteTara, and the emphasis that he places on WhiteTara, come out in his teachings and what he does and so on for us, and his compassion that he has for all his disciples and so on. So as you get to know the lamas, you'll get to know their yidams. They'll talk about it from time to time and so on. So it's part of the relationship bonding that you make with the lamas. So it's an important part of what we do to make those relationships. Okay. All right, so now if any other questions, just speak right up. Otherwise, we're going to the refuge and cultivation of bodhicitta here. I'll give an explanation. So it says, I and all sentient beings take refuge in the noble assembly of Bhagavati deities, the embodiment of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until enlightenment is reached. So the Bhagavati deities are these holy deities. The Bhagavati, that's a supreme deities, that is a Sanskrit word, and it represents the Buddhas. It represents the Tathagata, the Sugatas, are all epithets, are all the same as saying the Bhagavati deities. They are all enlightened deities. And they all are the embodiment of body, speech, and mind, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha that we repeat so often to maintain our mindfulness. May all sentient beings who have been our mothers, limitless as space, possess happiness and be free from suffering. Swiftly while I help them attain the ultimate state of Tara. So this is a statement of bodhicitta. So the first part was the statement of refuge, taking refuge. Now the second statement is the statement of bodhicitta. So we recite each of these 3 times, and then there's a short meditation, free from the duality of subject and object. So now we're getting more familiar with our meditation practice. So we're taking a moment, a couple minutes or whatever, to focus and to develop that mindfulness of our body, speech, and mind coming together with WhiteTara. So next comes the visualization. From the purified emptiness manifests the vast protection mansion. In its center blossoms a lotus flower. So the purified emptiness that we've talked about before, this empty, this phenomenal nature that comes this protection mansion. So the protection mansion is the mandala. So the mandala is the many-tiered palace of the deity. So we see the deity is, this mandala is in the heart center, and it is comprised of all the associated bodhisattvas and yogis and yoginis and bodhisattvas and female bodhisattvas, dakinis, and so on, that are all part of their family. So in the center of this blossoms a lotus flower on which is a moon disk seat. And on this rests a brilliant white tom syllable, radiating light that benefits all sentient beings. So if you turn to page 58, you see the tom syllable. You see it in English and you see it in the Sanskrit form. So in the center is the ta, as the ta. That has a roof there, and it's got a little hook that comes down. That's the ta syllable. And then at the bottom, that little hook with a little line going through it, that's a ah syllable. So, and then at the very top is that circle, which is a M sound. So it's a tom. And this is, it's the same syllable, it's the same seed syllable as we use with green tar, and means purification and protection. Okay. So, radiating light that benefits all beings, the light returns and is absorbed into the tom. So here it's very quickly saying that this light is going to benefit all beings. So in other practices, we know that what happens is that this light comes from this tom syllable that's sitting on this lotus and goes to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, which are all within ourselves. All this is within ourselves. So that light goes to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Then from their hearts come the blessings back to the tom syllable. Then it comes in again, and then it goes out simultaneously to all sentient beings. So this is the process that we see happening. It goes out to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, comes right back in the form of blessings, then goes out to all beings. So in a way, you can say that those blessings are going out from your heart to all beings, that they may recognize that they are WhiteTara. The light returns and absorbed into the syllable tom. Instantly, I become Tara of snow mountain color, smiling and having one face, two arms, and a graceful beauty. So snow-colored mountain, she's a brilliant white color, like the sun hitting the snow on the top of the Himalayas. And she has a very beautiful two arms and so on. She's clad in silken robes and adorned with jewel ornaments. My right hand displays the supreme attainment bestowing mudra, and the left holds a blue lotus. So that's what I was saying. The right hand is in the offering mode, holding a lotus, and the left hand is in the protection mode. My legs are folded gracefully in the Vajra position, and behind me is a moon disk. So looking at the picture, you can see there's a red disc there. That's a wisdom disc, but that indicates, that halo is indication of their Buddha nature. From the three special places, the three syllables radiate light. So the three special places are the forehead or the crown. Crown and forehead are interchangeable, same thing. From the forehead, from the throat, and from the heart center. So the forehead, the crown represents the body, and the throat represents the speech, and the heart represents the mind of the Buddhas. So from the three special places, the three syllables radiate light. So the Om at the forehead, the white Om, the red Ah at the throat, and the blue Hung at the heart center. inviting the many wisdom deities from all directions who appear in the sky before me. I make offerings and give praise. So we visualize that all beings everywhere, everything is filled with all these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, that all space is filled. When we did the 7-limb prayer, we visualized that all space, all these atoms are Buddhas, and they're filled, all the space in between are the Bodhisattvas. So we visualize all this in our imagination. And then we make the offerings. Om Aryatari Sapari Var Argam Pratitsa Soha. So it's the same melody and the same mantra as in green Tara. Om Arya, the body, speech, and mind is Om. Arya is noble. Tare is Tara. And Sapari Vara is the retinue. And then Argam is the drinking water. Padyam is the washing water. Pushpam is the flowers. Dupam is the incense. Alokam is the light. Gande is the perfume, scented water. And Nuidea is the food offering. And then Shabda is the music, is the rejoicing. So we make the offerings. And then we sing the praise. We say the praise. The crowns of gods and demigods pay homage to your lotus feet. You who liberate from all unfavorable conditions, I praise and prostrate to Mother Tara. So as we do the offerings, if you remember, we're doing the offerings and we're doing the mudra, and then we're pratitsa is coming into us, because all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas at this point, we're visualizing all within us. So it's like we're consolidating all those blessings within ourselves. So the crowns of gods and demigods, so pay homage to your lotus feet, you who liberate from unfavorable conditions. I praise and prostrate to Mother Tara. So unfavorable conditions would be those things that are potential causes of an untimely death. So WhiteTara is a long life deity. So we want to have a long, happy, healthy life. And then we say Za, Hong, Bam, Ho. So we were hooking to the deity. We're tying to the deity. We're binding ourselves up. We're locking ourselves up with the deity. And then we're rejoicing with the deity. Za, Hong, Bam, Ho. All the enlightened beings dissolve inseparably into me. Again, from the seed syllable in my heart, light radiates and invites the empowerment deities. And then we say, so we're inviting all the empowerment deities, which are the 5 Buddha families, the heads of the 5 Buddha families, all to come in and give us empowerment to be able to be the embodiment of the Buddha nature, the true nature. And then we say, Om Sar Tathagata Abhishekata Sameye Shriye Hong. So here we're saying the body, speech, and mind, all the Tathagatas, all the thus gone ones, all the Buddhas, Abhishekata, I'm requesting empowerment. Samaya is I am the vow taker, I'm taking this vow, I'm making this promise to keep the vows. And Shriye Hong, that I shall, that I will do this nobly and make this manifest within myself. This primordial nature, this is my primordial nature, and I will make this manifest. They grant the empowerment and dissolve into me. So I may have mentioned before, if you want to make notes inside the book, it's fine. I use a pencil, but if you make notes, it's impossible, I think, to remember everything, but you can make notes to yourself, and it's very, very helpful, and that's what this is for. So don't hesitate to do something like that. If you feel like you don't want to put notes in the book, you can put extra pages in the book, just some loose pages, some note paper, and make your notes there and keep them there. So whatever you wish to do. So, to be able to pronounce the mantras, sometimes to put in the marks to make notations for the phrasing and so on, the way the words go together, can be very helpful. So then we do the mantra recitation, where it says, in the heart chakra of myself as Tara, in a wheel in the center of which is the white syllable Tam, the syllables of the mantra are resting on the spokes of the chakra. As I recite the mantra, it circles clockwise. Light radiates from the mantra, bringing the Buddha's blessings into me. I become the embodiment of all the Buddhas. Light then radiates to all sentient beings. All their negative emotions are purified, and they become WhiteTara. So we visualize as we visualize the seed syllable, which is the Tam syllable in the center in our heart. And we visualize the mantra as going around in a clockwise direction like this. And the light from the syllables of the mantra is going to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, coming back to the Tam, and from the Tam it goes out to all beings. So we're again visualizing this. So we can visualize that this is like on a wheel, an 8-spoked wheel, and the 8-spoked wheel represents the Eightfold Path. And if you remember, the Eightfold Path was the fourth of the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path. So on those 8, so this is the Dharma chakra wheel. That's called the Dharma chakra wheel. It's the 8-spoke wheel. So this is within our heart center. I recite the mantra. It circles clockwise. Light radiates from the mantra, goes to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and then goes to all beings, and their negative emotions are purified, and they become WhiteTara. So this is going out, and we visualize that all this becomes the Buddha field of WhiteTara. We become WhiteTara, and all beings become WhiteTara. They may not recognize it themselves, but you recognize that, and that right now is what's important. That's what we're focusing on. That's what we're developing, is our mindfulness of all this nature being Buddha nature, all these appearances being Buddha nature. It's been our contaminated mind, it's been our confused mind that sees it as other things, but in its purest sense, it is all this Buddha nature. And for us to recognize that is how we liberate ourselves in a lifetime. That now we see all this as the Buddha field. So here is a line drawing of WhiteTara. And you can see, if you look closely, you wouldn't know that it's WhiteTara unless you look closely and see the 7 eyes. The 3 on the face, and the 2 on the hands, and the 2 on the feet. So it's a case in point. So then we come to the mantra, and just a moment. Sorry, just a moment. This is what I'm preparing for you, or your own cards, so you can make notes and remember things. I have to trust my memory. Okay. Okay. All right, so the mantra is Om Tai Tutai Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. So Om Tai Tutai Ture we did last week, which was the body, speech, and mind of the Buddha, of WhiteTara. Tare is one who liberates. Tutare is liberating from great fears. And Ture is freedom from sickness and disease. So Om Tare, Tutare, Ture. Then Mama means to me. To me. Bring this protection to me. Ayurjana. Ayur means this noble. This noble. Jana means wisdom. Bring this noble wisdom to me. Punye pushting kuru soha. Kuru means to purify. And soha means may it be accomplished. Pushting is, sorry, I'm trying to remember pushting.
Abundance or increase?
Increasing. Yes, thank you. Pushting. And punye, what is punye? I should know this. Is increasing. I think it's purification. So all this protection, all this purification, all this wisdom is all coming to me, and increasing and magnetizing all others, so that all this all comes and may it be accomplished. So to bring this long life awareness, this long life aspiration to all beings. So the melody goes, Om Tai Tutai Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. So the way that Dorchen Rinpoche does it is Om Tari Tutare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Tari Tutare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Tari Tutare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. So we'll recite that in just a minute. And then after that, then we make the offerings again. But this time, if you remember, we're making the offerings. This time, our hands are going out like this. And when we do pratitsa, that the offerings are going to all these WhiteTara beings now that are all out and all in front of us, all in phenomenal nature. So we're making the offerings to all these deities. And then again, we recite the praise as we did before, and then comes the dissolution and the meditation. Okay. So any Comments or questions? No? Okay. You want to take a couple minutes and take a short break, and then we can do the practice together. Okay. So just a couple minutes. Okay, I found my note card. We'll wait a minute for Adrian to return. There he is. All right, so just to correct myself, on page 58 with the mantra, I want to make sure I tell it to you correctly. The Om is the body, speech, and mind of the Buddha Tara. Tare is one who liberates. Tu Tare is liberates from great fear. Ture is freedom from sickness and disease. All that we've said before. Mama is to me. Ayurjana means unafflicted wisdom longevity. Unafflicted wisdom longevity. So that this pure wisdom is unafflicted and continues on and on and on and on. There's no death to it. There's no separation from it. Punya is good fortune, prosperity. Good fortune, prosperity. May there be good fortune, prosperity in our lives, in the Dharma. You know, whatever material things we need to have, that we have those things. Maybe not what we want, but in our purified state, we're not being prideful. We're not being greedy in any way or attaching to anything. So just naturally, we would get what we need. So the punya is the good fortune, prosperity to have those things. And then pushtim kuru is increasing magnetizing. Increasing magnetizing. So we're increasing this blessing and magnetizing others. More power is coming into our midst and so on. And then soha is so be it. And the tom syllable is it purifies.
What kind of wisdom was it, Williams?
The wisdom was the unafflicted wisdom longevity. So to set your motivation, I'll read this to you. This is the supplication to WhiteTara, Noble Tara, that was this prayer slightly modified from the original Tibetan by Garchen Triptol Rinpoche. So our Garchen Rinpoche was translated at the request of the disciple Eri Ma. This was done many years ago. So as I said, that this is his yidam. Namo WhiteTara, Lady Tare, you are the mother of the victorious ones of the past, present, and future. Deliver me from the 8 perils, merciful goddess. You who with 100 names are the protectors from danger and suffering. Think of me with compassion, venerable lady, in all circumstances, now, in the future, and in the bardo. Hold me with constant, inseparable compassion. Bestow your magnificent blessing that outer, inner, and hidden obstacles be pacified and my intentions be swiftly accomplished. So this is the supplication that Garchen Rinpoche wrote. So this, and anytime you want to write your own prayer, go right ahead. That should be part of your practice. Compose a prayer. No matter what it might sound like to others, it's what it means to you is important. So cultivate your vision. Cultivate your aspiration. Cultivate your activities. So by writing things down helps you to stabilize that. And you come back and you reflect on that. Very powerful tools. You know, these are tools of the brain that help us to understand more of what we're trying to understand with the heart center, with the true nature. Okay, so back to 54, the refuge and cultivation. We'll start with the practice. So we'll do it where it's indicated twice in English, once in Tibet, and we'll read in English the instructions and do the Tibet in English, in Tibet. I and all sentient beings take refuge in the noble assembly of Bhagavati deities, the embodiment of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until enlightenment is reached. I and all sentient beings take refuge in the noble assembly of Bhagavati deities, the embodiment of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until enlightenment is reached. Sange choso ge don kino, chomden de me la sokla, dagdan kya nyam sem chen nam, jangju bardu kapsu chi. May all sentient beings who have been our mothers, limitless as space, possess happiness and be free from suffering. Swiftly, while I help them attain the ultimate state of Tara. May all sentient beings who have been our mothers, limitless as space, possess happiness and be free from suffering. Swiftly, while I help them attain the ultimate state of Tara. Magyur kyanam jodi dag, they den dog now kondrel ne. Nordu pagma jo mayi, go pang jo la go parji. So a short meditation, contemplation, refuge, bodhicitta, for the benefit of all sentient beings. A motivation, bodhicitta, for all beings. Okay, now the visualization. From the purified emptiness manifests the vast protection mansion. In its center blossoms a lotus flower, on which is a moon disk seat. On this rests the brilliant white Tom syllable, radiating light that benefits all sentient beings. The light returns and is absorbed into the syllable Tom. Instantly I become Tara of snow mountain color, smiling and having one face, 2 arms, and a graceful beauty, clad in silken robes and adorned with jewel ornaments. My right hand displays the supreme attainment bestowing mudra, and the left holds a blue lotus. My legs are folded gracefully in the Vajra position, and behind me is a moon disk. From the 3 special places, the 3 syllables radiate light, inviting the many wisdom deities from all directions who appear in the sky before me. I make offerings and give praise. Back to Tibet. Sangjan Tongpe Nale Ni, Song Wei Gyur Kang Yang Pao, Chu Ke Ge Pe Ge Sar U, Sil Zer Chen Yi Ten Dang Du, Dam Yi Kar Le Wo Cho Pe, Jo Wei Don Che Lar Wo Du. Ke Jig Rang Rig Jo Me Ku, Gang Ri Dog Chen Zi Zom Den, Zao Chig Chag Ni Ze Pe Ku, Dar Dang Red Ne Do Shao Chen, Chag Ye Chogin Jon O Pao, Zabni Dor Kil Zer Ki, Kabyo Dang Dan Ne Som Le, Yik Som Wo Tro Rang Jin Yi, Bei Ne Chen Drag Jo Ching To. Om Ayatare, Om Ayatare Saparivara, Argam Pratitsa Soha, Om Ayatare Saparivara, Padyam Pratitsa Soha, Om Ayatare Saparivara, Pushpam Pratitsa Soha, Om Ayatare Saparivara Dupam Pratitsa Soha. Om Ayatare Saparivara Alokam Pratitsa Soha. Om Ayatare Saparivara Gande Pratitsa Soha. Om Ayatare Saparivara Nuitaya Pratitsa Soha. Om Ayatare Saparivara Shapta Pratitsa Soha. The gods, the crown of gods and demigods pay homage to your lotus feet. You who liberate from all unfavorable conditions, I praise and prostrate to Mother Tara. La dang la min cho pen yi, zabgi pe mo la tu ne, pom pa kun le zol ze ma, dro ma yom la chak sa po. Za hom bam ho. All the enlightened beings dissolve inseparably into me. Again, from the seed syllable at my heart, light radiates and invite the empowerment deities. They grant the empowerment and dissolve into me. Za hom bam ho, ni me tem, lar yang to ke sabon le. Za hom bam ho, wotro wang la chen drag te. Om Saratata Om Saratata Gata Abhishikata Samaye Shriye Hom. Wang Kur Keta Brang La Tim. If you have some water, you can take some water with your right hand, pour it into the palm of your left hand, and perform the empowerment. You drink the water, and then the moisture, what's left in the palm of your hand, goes on the top of your head and becomes the 5 Buddha families. Om Saratadagata Abhishikata Samaye Shriye Hom. They grant the empowerment and dissolve into me. Now the mantra recitation. In the heart chakra of my self-as Tara is a wheel in the center of which is the white syllable Tam. The syllables of the mantra are resting on the spokes of the chakra. As I recite the mantra, it circles clockwise. Light radiates from the mantra, bringing the Buddha's blessing into me. I become the embodiment of all the Buddhas. Light then radiates to all sentient beings. All their negative emotions are purified, and they become WhiteTara. Rangni Larsel Tukaru, Gorlo Zidente Waru, Tam Yi Karpo Salwesiv, Yingpo Korwa De Kordo, Korwa Migla Nagdida. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtum Kuru Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtum Kuru Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtum Kuru Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Dare dure 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 mama ayurjana punye pushtam kuru soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dore Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Ture Mama Ayurjana Punye Pushtam Kuru Soha. Om Ayatare Saparivara Argam Pratitsa Soha. Om Ayatare Saparivara Pradyam Pratitsa Soha. Om Ayatare Saparivara Pushpam Pratitsa Soha. Om Ayatare Saparivara Dupam Pratitsa Soha. Om Ayatare Saparivara Alokam Pratitsa Soha. Om Ayatare Saparivara Gande Pratitsa Soha. Om Ayatare Saparivara Nutya Pratitsa Soha. Om Ayatare Saparivara Shapta Pratitsa The crown of gods and demigods pay homage to your lotus feet. You who liberate from all unfavorable conditions, I praise and prostrate to Mother Tara. La dong la min cho pen gi, zab gi pe mo la to ne, pong pa kon le zo ze ma, dro ma yong wa chak sa to. Dissolution. I make the offerings, give praise, and then dissolve into the state of non-duality. Cho cheng de do de bajra mu. We'll do a 5-minute meditation tonight. Visualize all the beings dissolving into WhiteTara, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, WhiteTara dissolving into white light, dissolving into us through the crown of our head, coming into our central body, the Tam syllable at the heart, and then the Tam syllable rising up from the bottom, from the Ah into the Ta, into the Ma, and becoming invisible, into the Shunyata, into the emptiness. Take a deep breath. Fill your lungs with fresh, clean, pure air. Bring your arms up over your head. Bring your hands together. Look up between your two hands at the ceiling. Stretch your arms, stretch your back, stretch your neck. Stretch. Exhale, relax your arms, back down at your side. Take a deep breath. Fill your lungs, raise your arms. Look between your two hands above your head. Stretch. Breathe, relax your arms. Come back down. One more deep breath. Raise your arms up over your head, up between your hands, stretch, hold your breath. Exhale, relax your arms, breathe again, open your eyes. Okay, very good, thank you. Okay, so now the dedication, please, on page 60. By these virtuous deeds, may I quickly attain the wish-granting wheel, and may all sentient beings, without exception, be established in that state. Dewa di norduda, yizi korlo jugyerne, jowa chikyang malupa, deyi sala gopasho. Okay, thank you. Any comments, any questions? Okay. I think the supplication to the seven Taras is not something that I could explain very easily. Kempo spent several weeks going in and talking about the seven Taras. So if you're interested in that, the teachings are available on YouTube, and we can get you a link for that if you're interested. If you want to read these, you can read these, but I think right now we'll skip that for tonight. So thank you all very much. I think we're coming along really well with these DD yoga practices. I hope it's making a difference in your life in some way. You know, exposing you to ritual practice, you know, that culminates in a meditation and really sets up the meditation. When we just sit and going to follow the instructions from like the stages of meditation, and we talk about the four thoughts, and we talk about loving kindness and compassion and shamatha and vipassana and everything, it's kind of, to me, it's kind of dry. You know, it's hard to, you know, put it all together. But through the Deity Yoga, by doing the generation stage and the completion stage, that are the last two chapters of the Book of Stages meditation, then it really starts coming together. Then you really see how you're transforming yourself into the deity, how the deity works. why the deity is there, what the Vajrayana is all about. It's not just this, logical, philosophical, endeavor that we go through. There is a real transformation that takes place that we can really recognize and really realize and see. So I think this is the benefit, this is the wisdom of the Vajrayana practices, the Tantrayana, the Vajrayana, the Mantrayana, three names that all apply to Tibetan Buddhism. Okay, so if everybody is good with that, no questions or comments, we'll do our lineage dedications. So we go to page 157. Okay. Dorje Chang, Talopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Domolorgampopa, Pagmajupa, Lord Drikung. Please bestow upon us the most auspicious blessings of all the Kagyu Lamas. By this virtue may I achieve omniscience. By defeating all enemies, confusion, may all who travel on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray that the Lama may have good health. I pray that the Lama may have long life. I pray that your Dharma activities spread far and wide. I pray that I may not be separated from you. As Manjushri, the warrior, realized the ultimate state, and as did Samantabhadra, I will follow in their path and fully dedicate all merit for all sentient beings. By the blessing of the Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the truth of the unchanging Dharma as such, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the merit I share bear fruit. By the virtues collected in the three times, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate word of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teachings of the great Drikung Ratna Shri, who is omniscient, Lord of the Dharma, master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara. Long life prayers. For this realm encircled by the snow-covered mountains, you are the source of every benefit and bliss without exception. Tenzin Gyatso, you are one with Avalokiteshvara. May you remain steadfast until samsara's end. Embodiment of the three precious jewels, Padmapani, who holds the teachings of the victorious one. Seeing the all-goodness meaning with the wisdom eye, may you who are spontaneously established activities live long for hundreds of kalpas. Noble Manjushri, the Lord of Speech, who manifests to hold the teachings of the Triple Gem, who raises the lamp of the sage's teachings. May you who are the light of the Dharma live long for hundreds of kalpas. Next page. The one known in the Holy Land as Oyadeva, emanated into the Gar clan of Eastern Tibet as Jodingpa, the heart son of Jigden Sumgon. May the life of the glorious Garchin remain steadfast for 100 eons. In this age of strife, when the victor's teaching faces hardship, through his powerful Vajralike conduct, he takes on himself the heavy responsibility of the unbiased teachings. May Garchin, the son of the teachings, live long. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum Shri. Om Ahum, Om Ahum, Om Ahum. May my body, speech, and mind become inseparable with the body, speech, and mind of the Buddha and all the enlightened ones. Thank you all very much. Hi, Gil.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks so much, Lance.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. I hope to see you tomorrow night. We'll be talking about the contributory master, the spiritual master, the contributory cause. So it'll be a good talk tomorrow, I think.
For the 101 class?
101, yes.
Gotcha.
Thank you very much, Lance.
All right, Gary, thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
All right, send me the stuff about, what's his name?
Oh, I will.
Okay, great.
Good night, all.
All right, y'all take care. See you next time.